Joe, Indiana, Big 12. I keep doing that. Joe, Indiana, the Big 10 champions. Curt Cignetti said, Google me, ho. And he's not talking about Lane Kiffin, but Google me, I'm a winner. And boy, does he done it. Undefeated, year 2, Indiana, one of the favorites on our good friends and partners over at FanDuel to win the national title. When you look at Indiana, what do they have to do to win it?
Plus 290, by the way, over at FanDuel, for anyone who's wondering. Blake, I think that what goes in their favor on why they can win it, they have one of the biggest X factors, I think, out of the entire playoff field. Having Fernando Mendoza, they have the best quarterback out there. They have a guy who has, through every step of adversity, made big plays when they've needed him to. I will not count Indiana out of any game that they're in because I think that Mendoza is going to be able to make that big third down throw when he needs to. He can put together the drive when they need to. It might look sloppy. He might make mistakes leading up to it, but having Mendoza and having him to be able to convert in late game situations, I think is really, really critical. Blake, I think that what they need to do and also what works well for them, I love their front seven. Their front seven is a gritty group. They've got some really good linebackers. They've got some really good defensive linemen. They took it to Ohio State like we saw the first time. And just to be quite frank, the matchups that they have ahead of them on the playoff path for them, they're going up against a lot of teams that have issues with their offensive lines that are not going to be able to deal with what Indiana is bringing to the table. Alabama and Oklahoma both have issues with their offensive lines and trying to run the football. And then after that, you get Texas Tech, who had issues with consistency and protecting Baron Morton and also running the football. I think that their biggest challenge will be getting a rematch with Oregon because I don't think that Dan Lanning is going to leave a situation where they lost to him twice in a season. But Blake, if that front seven continues to out physical teams, that is the path for them.
Remember how I led into the show and I said, Joe, you brought up this segment and we're supposed to be talking about what do they got to do to win it? It's what you got to avoid with me with Indiana State. With Indiana. Joe, they have a massive problem at right tackle. They have an issue. You just got exposed. The teams are going to start sending pressure there now. You can't keep getting beat in 3-man rushes by defensive end over and over and over again. Can't happen. Hear me and hear me now. I know we kind of get on these little monologues and kind of debates about Fernando Mendoza. I still think that he's got to make some bigger throws and bigger moments. I'm not arguing that with you anymore. Not going to do it. However, they have a problem at right tackle. They have a big problem at right tackle. That kid's gotten abused 3 times this year. Against Penn State, against Ohio State last week, and against Iowa. You have a problem at right tackle. And let me tell you something. Go up against Oregon again. Like you said, you're going to find out. God forbid you go up against Texas Tech. God forbid. Joe, that's the best edge room in the country. That is the best edge room in the country right now. Do it and find out what's going to happen. It's not with Indiana what you got to do because here's what you got to do. You got to keep doing exactly what you've been doing. Don't change it because nobody's been able to figure it out. However, if you don't start getting chips with your tight end, if you don't start letting the back go to the right side of that offensive line, somebody's going to knock you off. The first play of the game, you got Fernando Mendoza getting mollywopped on a bad read by the offensive lineman. He is supposed to wash down the defensive end. He's not supposed to allow him to go right off of his hip. He's supposed to take on half the man and try to wash him down. And he got obliterated for it. They're going to have to game plan around this issue at right tackle. I don't care what anybody wants to argue me with. If they don't, they're going to have issues. But Continue to do what you're doing, man. What do you want me to say? I think you got a really good 1-2 punch at running back. I think Mendoza's been really good. We praised your wide receiver room all year. Becker and Surratt are fantastic. You've done a really good job at sprinkling in your tight end. When teams start trying to take away vertical shots from you, defensively, you're downhill. Your secondary is really good. They understand the coverages better than anybody. You run 3 coverages. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. But if you don't fix a critical weakness that you have right now, there's a chink in this armor. And if you don't figure it out, somebody's going to clip you for it. You're going to get clipped. I'm telling you, they're going to get clipped if they don't fix it, Joe. I know you're going to yell at me.
No, I'm not going to yell at you. I think that has been a problem. And we saw that, there were pressures that were able to get home on Mendoza in the Ohio State game. I do give Mendoza a lot of credit. I think that's something that's really underrated about the way that he plays.
Sneaky athletic.
He does a really good job of evading pressure and running to space, and then when he doesn't see something, throwing the ball away. I think that that's something that benefits them and helps them and helps him specifically. He's not one of these guys that just thinks and sits in the pocket and then gets blasted. I think that Mendoza, to his benefit here and where they're going to be able to succeed down this run, is that he's one of the better quarterbacks at handling pressure and when he's getting attacked by opposing defensive lines. I feel like you were being very critical on him. Is there anything positive that you would say about Indiana that you think plays into their?
I think he does have an it factor to him. Okay. I do. Like, I've been critical of him because he's made some bad throws in critical moments. I will pull up the film for you. That is not debatable. However, he keeps fucking winning. He keeps winning. So, the throw to Becker was the best throw of the year. I hadn't said that, but it's the best throw of the year.
Yeah.
Because, that is timing. That is work that you put in. That is loving your receiver and hitting him in stride. It's the best throw of the year. If they're better pinpointed throws, I'm sure. There wasn't a bigger throw in the country that we've seen this year, bigger than his fade route to Becker to end the game. It doesn't exist. He keeps finding ways to win. I like Fernando Mendoza. I just don't like some of the decision-making in some critical moments, which is why people have hated me on Indiana. However, that's neither here nor there. He's done a lot of really good things. He's been really good in the pocket. He's been very good in the pocket. I got to be real with you. I think he needs to go back another year. I'm going to get killed for that take.
No, he's going first overall. He ain't going back.
I know he is. I think you should go back. I think he's going to be
fine. I think he's going to be fine.
I remember these.
I think Ty Simpson needs to go back.
Oh, I agree with that too. Here, me and my brother were doing this last night because he was just but we're just talking sports. In the first 12 picks, if I was picking, I didn't even take a quarterback. By the way, we only got to 12 picks before we started getting broken up here. But I'm not taking a quarterback in the first 10 picks.
Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza are going to be the two guys that go in the first round. But after that, the class does get very gross. Darian Mensah declares from Duke. It's going to be kind of interesting because he's a really, really good prospect. But I guess we'll see.
I'm not taking any quarterback this year in the first round. Not remotely close.
The class isn't that bad. The class is it's a decent class.
No, it's not.
For quarterbacks.
No, it's not.
Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza are very good quarterbacks.
I remember you had.
They're much better than last year. Much better than last year's class. Last year's class was atrocious.
Well, last year's class was Jaden Daniels.
No. That was 2 years ago. Last year's class was Shador. It was Dylan Gabriel. It was Cam Ward, and it was Jackson Dart. And Shuck.
Yeah, but only 2 went in the first round. They shouldn't have gone. I still like Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's just in a shitty situation.
Right.
Anyway, all right.